working 40 hours a week, that's a lot of time, right? I think that's a lot of time. I think that's more hours per week than the average person in America should be working. Okay, we could argue that, right? But that's a lot of time. That's a big chunk of your life. It's a big commitment. And to not make enough to make ends meet, right? There's no advice I can give you that really helps that situation. It's inherently embarrassing. It's shameful. It's humiliating. It's a public humiliation ritual. It's frustrating. There's so many things. And it's been a tough year. 2025 has been ridiculous. So going into 2026, a lot of people are saying it's only going to get worse. And I totally believe that it's only going to get worse. So I've been working on my mindset personally. I'm like, cool, what can I say no to, take away off my plate? What kind of mindset shifts do I need to see all of these challenges as opportunities? But this video is not really about that. I think we need more people turning up to protest, to be really frank about how they're feeling about all this stuff. And it's not, I don't think, complaining. It's people need to see this, to know that they're not alone. You're providing a service to someone else on this planet, to know that they're not alone. Working 40 hours a week. Yeah, guys, I wanted to know, when did men get so weak? When did men get so weak in society? 40 hours a week ain't enough. Now, people are going to think I'm crazy, but you got to look at this from a business perspective, right? The person that you work for, if you are a employee and not an employer, had to put in way more than 40 hours to put them in the position that they are now, to put them in the position that allows you to be able to bring a paycheck home to your family. 40 hours a week ain't nothing. When you have your Henrys, right? High earners, not rich yet. People that start their businesses from the ground up, they're putting in more than 40 hours a week, and they take on a lot more risks than you do. They take a lot more risks than you do. So when this man is saying that 40 hours a week is way too much, what should it be? 20 hours a week? 15 hours a week? Right? You should be able to work one shift for 2 days and then be able to go home and do whatever. It just doesn't make sense to me. What else is there to do? What else is there else to do? And I tested this experiment with myself. It was a situation where I stopped working for like a month and a half, right? And it was cool the first week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, yeah, man, don't got to work. Don't got to do this. Don't got to do that. And then ultimately, I was like, man, I'm bored. A lot of people are striving to get rich so they can do nothing and then realize that after 2 to 3 weeks, they have nothing on their calendar, nothing on their schedule. Life is pretty boring. You can only go to this restaurant so many times. You can only travel here so many times before it being the same thing you've seen already. You can only drive your car so many times before the nostalgia wears off. You can only do things so much before, you get bored and you want to get back to being able to do something that's somewhat productive. Now, I understand a lot of people out there just don't love their job. I get it. My solution to that is find you a skill or learn a skill of something that remotely ties into something you like and monetize it. If not, stop complaining. 40 hours a week ain't nothing. And ultimately, this guy, man, is just an embarrassment to society. Straight up embarrassment to society, man. Unreal.
We work 5 days a week, 40 hours out of the week. And we get 2 days off. Well, really one, because we use Sunday to prepare for Monday. Like, who came up with this? Who made this okay? Like, why are we not boycotting?
Okay, and then what? I don't think a lot of people think about the stuff that they post before they post them, because hypothetically, right, let's boycott it. You don't want 5 days a week, 40 hours. Okay, we cut it to 3. So what does that mean? You're going to, instead of working 8-hour shifts, you're going to work 12 or 15. Really, if 3 days a week, you really, to hit the 40 hours, that means you're pushing 15-hour shifts. And let's just say you take out an hour for lunch. No, that ain't happening. y'all can't even work hard enough. That ain't gonna work, right? Or you want your boss to double your pay, decrease the time that you're working for you to still make up essentially what your paycheck would be for a 5-day, 40-hour work week. It's either one or the two. Stop complaining, especially this young lady. If you're tired of your situation, go be a boss. Go be a boss. Go be able to work when you want, how you want, and ultimately the success of your life and your business falls on your shoulders. It's simple. Straight up simple. Go be a boss. Y'all are killing me, man.
Working 40 hours a week is ghetto as hell. 40 hours a week, that's a lot of hours at a job. Who created the 40-hour work week? Let's do a little bit of math, shall we? So we have 24 hours in a day. It's recommended that you have to sleep at least 8 hours in a day. So now you're left with 16 hours, right? However, you have to wake up 1 hour before you go to work. For some people, not everybody. So now you're left with 15 hours.
He can't
However,
be serious.
the commute to work probably takes you another hour. So now you're left with 14 hours. So now you're at work. But the average person isn't even working 8 hours. The average person is working like 9 or more hours. You have to factor in a lunch break. So now you're actually left with only 5 hours. But then you have to drive home from work, which is another hour with traffic and everything. So you're left with 4 hours. The average person is only getting 4 hours for themselves. And with the 4 hours that you have left when you come home, you're so tired. You don't want to do anything. All you want to do is lay on your couch and scratch your ass because you've been working for the whole day. You're exhausted. If it was up to me, I would make full-time hours 8 to 24 hours a week, not 40 hours a week. Because a lot of people see their coworkers more than they see their family. I might be wrong when I say this, but I feel like it's not that people don't want to work in.
So there's a couple things wrong here, right? There's a couple things wrong. Like I mentioned before, you can't cut the work hours from 40 hours to 24. Half of y'all, and this is me speaking from experience, coming from a corporate background, y'all are jacking off. Y'all are only working really 20 hours anyway. If we actually take a deep dive study on how productive people actually are, again, this is in the corporate space. Warehouse space, I can't speak to it. More blue collar spaces, I can't speak to it. But just the white collar corporate space, half of y'all aren't even giving your employer the full 40 hours. You're not even giving your employer the full 40 hours a week. Y'all are jacking it off at whatever functions, work functions, scrolling on your phone the first 2 hours of your work day. Then you're taking more than a 30-minute lunch or an hour lunch. Y'all not even putting in a real 40 hours, and your employer knows this. They're not dumb. They know this. All y'all that got these company laptops, they really wanted to. They're able to see how consistent and how often you guys are on these laptops working. They're able to see how often these laptops are going in hibernation mode. They're not dumb.
I just feel like people don't want to work 40 hours a week anymore because your mental health would be so much better if you weren't working 40 hours a week anymore. You can go on vacation more. You can hang out with family and friends. You go to the gym more. 40 hours a week is just ghetto as hell. I really feel like it's a scheme that Todd.
I'm done with this foolishness, man. He don't even sound right. But hey, man, you either gonna be a boss or you not. And I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say in the comments. Y'all let me know. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, man. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.